High above a crystal castle, the rising sun catches a kingdom sculpted entirely from living, breathing ice. This is a realm where winter yields gracefully to the precise control of its queen, Elsa, who weaves magic to cast endless, sparkling light across the courtyard. Every snowflake seems to dance on command, and the citizens reflect that same unwavering adoration. To them, the queen is the proud protector of every frozen wall and every hopeful heart, standing as the ultimate, flawless guardian of their home. But if you look past the cheering crowds to the quiet edges of the gathering, a different picture emerges. Anna stands silent, her arms folded tightly against the cold, projecting a warm smile that barely masks her growing doubt. While her sister shines brightly, Anna feels like a shadow slowly fading out of sight. With a heavy heart and a trembling breath, Anna slips away unnoticed. She trades the bright, polished courtyards for the whispering, ancient trees of the dark forest, seeking a quiet place where her smallness isn't constantly on display. Deep within those twisted woods, she discovers an eerie, ancient stone well, radiating a heat that feels alive. Driven by a desperate need to feel visible, she speaks her darkest wish aloud, asking for the power to finally rival her sister's greatness. The ancient stones respond immediately to her hidden inner fire. A fierce, pulsing light surges upward from the depths, striking her with overwhelming, burning force as it grants the terrible strength she craves. Granting absolute power to a mind plagued by insecurity does not subtly cure a lack of confidence. Instead, it weaponizes that fear, turning internal doubt into a very real, very dangerous external force. The physical consequence of that wish violently manifests seconds later. Anna's hands begin to shake, as if wild flames live beneath her skin, until bright, fierce sparks erupt outward from her fingertips. Unchecked and entirely unguided, this newly awakened magic instantly attacks its environment. It rapidly melts the surrounding snowdrifts and scorches the ancient timber, bringing rising heat to a permanently frozen world. Terrified by the destruction blooming around her, Anna's first instinct is to run back toward the safety of the castle to find Elsa. In her blind panic, she unknowingly drags this lethal threat directly toward the innocent citizen she wanted to impress. Her chaotic retreat leaves a devastating trail in its wake. Thick, dark smoke, gray ash, and faintly glowing embers carve a permanent scar into the landscape, as her control over the fire completely evaporates. The fire feeds deeply on Anna's mounting terror and jealousy, consuming her panic until the smoke and flames coalesce into a towering, roaring beast made entirely of living ash. Left unexamined in the dark, deep-seated resentments rarely fade away peacefully. They grow, mutate, and break free as external monsters that threaten to burn down everything we hold dear. Standing on the cold balcony above the courtyard, Elsa hears the sudden, terrified cries of her people. She assesses the horizon and watches thick, dark clouds of smoke rise high above the tree line, signaling an unnatural heat approaching her domain. Elsa immediately drops into a tactical defense. To shield the frightened villagers, she pushes her abilities to their absolute limit, driving an immense, impenetrable barricade of solid ice straight out of the frozen earth to stop the beast's advance. But the sheer physical toll on that crystalline barrier is immense. The towering monster exhales relentless, suffocating waves of intense fire, slowly reducing the towering defense to running water and blinding steam. Watching her kingdom begin to crumble, Anna realizes her deeply selfish wish created this nightmare. Placing blame on the eerie well or waiting for her sister to solve it accomplishes nothing. Refusing to run away again, she stops trembling, turns her back on the safe gates, and deliberately steps straight into the raging heart of the inferno, placing herself squarely before the roaring creature. As she accepts her own power with self-love rather than resentment, the magic reacts instantly. Stripped of the fear and insecurity that fueled it, the punishing heat dissipates, returning to her as gentle, obedient sparks. Starved completely of the bitter emotional fuel it needed to survive, the terrifying creature releases one final, earth-shaking roar. Its towering form loses all structural integrity, collapsing quietly onto the ground as completely harmless, drifting gray dust. As the smoke clears and fresh snow begins to fall, the two sisters survey the courtyard. Anna uses her newly tamed magic to gently warm the freezing air, providing Elsa the comfortable space she needs to carefully rebuild the shattered crystal walls. Fire and ice intertwine, filling the dark night sky above with vivid strokes of brilliant heat and deep frost,